August 12, 1985, was supposed to be an ordinary day for Japan Airlines Flight 123. The Boeing 747 SR-46, designed for short-haul routes, was packed with 524 passengers and crew, departing from Tokyo's Haneda Airport for Osaka. Families, business travelers, and vacationers filled the cabin, unaware of the silent danger lurking within the aircraft. The takeoff was smooth, and passengers settled in for what should have been a routine 54-minute journey. Among them were prominent figures, including the famous singer Kyu Sakamoto. However, just 12 minutes into the flight, disaster struck. A sudden, deafening explosion rocked the aircraft. The passengers gasped as the cabin trembled violently. In the cockpit, Captain Masami Takahama and his crew struggled to understand what had happened. Warning lights flashed, and the aircraft began behaving erratically. Unknown to them, the rear bulkhead had ruptured, leading to rapid decompression. 7 years before this fateful flight, the same Boeing 747 had suffered a tail strike during landing. The aircraft was repaired by Boeing engineers, but the fix was flawed. The bulkhead, a crucial structural component, had been improperly patched using a doubler plate with a single row of rivets instead of two. Over years of pressurization and depressurization cycles, a crack slowly formed, weakening the bulkhead. On August 12, 1985, the weakened bulkhead finally gave way. The decompression caused a massive force that tore off a large portion of the tail, including the vertical stabilizer and hydraulic systems. The loss of hydraulics rendered the aircraft almost uncontrollable. With the tail gone and all hydraulic systems lost, Captain Takahama and his crew fought to stabilize the aircraft. The plane pitched and rolled wildly, oscillating in a deadly cycle known as Dutch roll. The crew used engine thrust to try and regain control, but the aircraft was barely responding. Air traffic control in Tokyo desperately tried to guide them, offering suggestions and alternative landing sites. However, with no hydraulic control, their options were limited. The aircraft drifted off course toward the mountainous terrain of central Japan. For the passengers, terror set in. Oxygen masks had deployed, but with the tail section gone, much of the oxygen had already escaped. Flight attendants did their best to calm the passengers, even writing farewell messages to their loved ones. For nearly 32 agonizing minutes, the pilots struggled to keep the aircraft airborne. They attempted an emergency landing at Yokota Air Base, but the lack of control made this impossible. The aircraft continued its erratic path, descending lower and lower over the mountainous terrain of Gunma Prefecture. At 6:56 p.m., after one final, desperate climb, the aircraft stalled and crashed into the ridge of Mount Asutaka. The impact was catastrophic, breaking the plane into pieces. A fireball erupted into the evening sky, signaling the end of Flight 123. Of the 524 people on board, only 4 survived, miraculously shielded from the impact by the wreckage. The rest perished in what would become the deadliest single-aircraft disaster in aviation history. Rescue operations were delayed, as initial reports incorrectly suggested that all had died. Some survivors might have succumbed to their injuries overnight due to the slow response. When search teams arrived, they found a scene of devastation, charred remains of the aircraft scattered across the mountainside. The investigation revealed the fatal flaw in the repaired bulkhead. Boeing took responsibility for the improper repair, admitting that the mistake directly led to the catastrophic decompression. Japan Airlines executives resigned in disgrace, and the airline implemented stricter maintenance protocols to prevent similar incidents. The tragedy also highlighted the need for better search and rescue coordination, as the delayed response had cost additional lives. Japan Airlines Flight 123 remains a haunting reminder of the importance of meticulous aircraft maintenance and emergency preparedness. It also serves as a testament to the bravery of the crew, who fought until the very end to save their passengers. Each year, families of the victims visit the crash site, now marked with a memorial, to honor those lost. The disaster changed aviation forever, reinforcing the critical need for proper repairs and thorough inspections. Though decades have passed, the story of Flight 123 continues to be told, a lesson carved into the history of aviation, reminding the world of the devastating consequences of a single mistake.